By the end of this video, you're going to know about 10 hidden Claude settings that you need to make sure are turned on because they make Claude way more powerful. And Claude is constantly changing their settings and adding new ones. So for 99% of you, you probably haven't seen some of these, or you might be ignoring them, and it could be holding back the results that you're getting right now from using Claude. Claude setting number one that you need to make sure that you're taking advantage of is going to be that each Claude model actually needs to be prompted differently, and most people don't even realize this. So now if you actually come over to Google and you type in Claude prompting guide, you are actually going to see that they have a guide on this. If we actually come over here and click into this, you're going to see on the left-hand side right here, prompt engineering. We have an overview, we have prompting best practices, and then you could see that prompting Claude Fable 5 versus prompting Claude Opus 4.8, you actually need completely different things. And if we actually come over here, we can combine all these into a guide. Check this out. So if we type in this prompt right here, could you read through this documentation about how Claude wants to be prompted and give me feedback on how I'm prompting you? We could actually come over here. We're going to grab the overview and we're going to paste this in here right here. Then we are going to come back over here and we're going to grab the best practices. And then we're going to paste this over here. And then we could come into each of these and keep doing this. And this will actually go through and then give us really good feedback on how you're actually using Claude. Because like I said, you're probably using it the wrong way and you don't even realize it. And that's something that 99% of people are messing up right now. So I'm going to come over here, insert the same thing. Now this is going to read through these documents, scan through them. It can also reference our chat history if you have that turned on. And this goes through and gives us feedback on what we're doing well, what we can actually fix right here, where we can sharpen things. And this is going to be incredibly useful for you no matter how you're using Claude. You could use it to write, you could use it to code. This right here makes you way better. And then it literally gives you a high value next step. Another thing that you could do is that if you actually come into your settings, into Claude right here, we can actually take the feedback that it gave us, put this as a custom instruction inside of here. And then what this will actually do is every single time Claude responds to us, it'll tell us whether or not we are using it correctly. For example, if we see instructions for Claude right here, I have Claude every single time that I use it actually give me a confidence level of how confident it is. And if we actually come back over into my chats right here, we could see that if we scroll up, it says that the context or the confidence level is incredibly high. And this is also another one of those things that I would strongly suggest you put inside of your custom instructions. But in addition to using custom instructions, you want to make sure that if you also come over into your settings right here, I wanted to make sure that you knew that if you scroll down right here, you can actually change, if you're using Claude Voice, the speed of it. And if we come over to notifications, you could turn notifications on for specific things. For example, code permission requests, you want to make sure you have that turned on. Because if you don't have that turned on, what's going to end up happening is when you're using Claude, you are going to get permission requests, but you'll never actually hear that. In addition to that, you want to make sure that if you actually come over into customize right here and you come over to your connectors, you want to make sure that you have all of these set up. Because let's say Google Drive right here, we could see that this all immediately, and this is how they all automatically connect. It's blocked. Everything's blocked, but we want to make sure that everything is going to be always allowed. And if you're doing this while you're actually using something, you are going to want to make sure that you open up a new chat and make sure that that is set up. In addition to that, most people don't realize that there are now Anthropic plugins that are incredibly useful. They're for all of these different tools right here. And if you're using any of these like Airtable or Base 44 or Datadog or Twilio, I would make sure that you have all of these installed. In fact, I would strongly suggest that you take a moment right now, go through and install every plugin that matters to you, every connector that matters to you. And if you have ever had a great chat with Claude and you really like something that Claude did, for example, I really like the way that it made me this YouTube script right here. In fact, I really love this YouTube script. I could come over here and I can say, can you turn this into a skill called YouTube script? Now what this is going to do is this is actually going to turn exactly what it did into a skill. If you don't know what a skill is, essentially it's an SOP. So whenever Claude does something you really like and you want it to repeat that same action, if you don't know what an SOP is, it's a standard operating procedure. So I want you to think about this. Let's say that you like the way somebody did something and you want them to keep doing it again. Ideally, you should have it written down. Hey, this is step 1. This is step 2. This is what you do if this happens. This is what you do if that happens. That's what Claude actually does with its chats right here. If you ask it to do that, when it did something that you really liked. And I would strongly suggest that you're doing this all the time. In fact, you should be doing this several times a day. Now, whenever you want to use that skill again, you literally just type this in right here, and you can actually choose that skill, and it will actually use that over and over again so that you get consistent results with no hallucinations. In addition to that, before we get into some of these really serious settings, most people don't actually know that if you scroll all the way down, you could click on view all chats. You can now search for your chats. You can now actually filter your chats, and you can now actually select a bunch of different select ones. Let's say we wanted to add to a project, we would be able to do that. If we wanted to delete them, we would be able to do that. And this makes that incredibly efficient. Now, in addition to all that, Claude also did drop a brand new prompting guide for Mythos 5 because you have to prompt this tool totally different than any other tool. But before I show you that, I wanted to make sure that you have Claude hooked up to as many of your apps as humanly possible, because if you're only relying on Claude connectors, you're only using Claude at like a 10% capability. And this is a huge mistake, because if you're using the most powerful model in the world, you want to make sure you have it hooked up to all of your apps. And this is exactly why I personally have my Claude hooked up to Zapier's MCP, because Zapier lets you connect your Claude to more than 9,000 different apps in a secure way, and you could do it in less than 30 seconds if you go to the pinned comment below and get started with Zapier's MCP today. Because once you have this connected, this is what really makes Claude powerful, because not only does it access just the connectors that you already have connected, it also gets access to more than 9,000 different apps that you didn't know Claude was able to access. For example, I use it to power this workflow right here. Now, one of the easiest and most helpful use cases you could get set up with this is literally just coming into Cowork and dropping in this prompt right here. So this is going to be a daily brief using Zapier. So using my Zapier MCP connection, I want you to create a daily brief. I want you to look at my Slack and notify me of any unread messages that are urgent and that I need to get back to. I want you to look at my Gmail and notify me of any unread messages that are urgent and that I need to get back to. I want you to look at my calendar and brief me on what I need to get done today. In addition, based on the goals that you know about, let me know the 3 biggest things that I need to get done today. And there's one other thing to add on to this. And that is that finally, I want you to draft replies to the urgent Slacks and Gmail so that I can have you send them if I approve them. So this is actually way better than just a daily brief, because this is going to be a daily brief that takes into consideration your goals and things that you've been working with inside of Claude. In addition to that, this is going to be one click ready to actually take action on all these things instead of just notifying us and putting more work on our plate. If you wanted to, you could do this inside of a project. And when it comes to ask right here, I would have this act without asking for this specific thing right here. And we could see it's actually getting access to all of this. In addition to that, the default model right here, we could choose Fable 5 in order for this to be the most powerful possible. And in terms of frequency, I would have this happen weekdays every day at 9 a.m., 8 a.m., or 7 a.m., basically right before you get into the office. And then this is going to be the result. And now here's what this actually looks like every morning. I have my urgent Slack messages right here, when they were actually sent, what they're about. I have my urgent Gmail messages right here. I have exactly what today's calendar actually looks like right here. I have my top 3 priority actions, and I have these draft replies right here. And literally all I have to say to this is, yes, I like these. Go ahead and send them over, and it will actually take action on my behalf. So again, what this is actually doing right here is this is not only connecting to all my different tools and using those, it's actually able to then take action once I approve this, which is insane. And this is what's made possible with Zapier, because it's the only MCP server that literally connects to everything, more than 9,000 different tools. And they have tons of use cases that are automatically ready to go to be able to replicate something like a team lead, a sales rep, an executive assistant, or anything else that you could think of. So go to that pinned comment below and get started with Zapier MCP today so you can hook your Claude up to more than 9,000 different apps to automate anything you could think of. Now, the next thing is you want to make sure that you're doing is, if we come over to Claude in Chrome, you want to make sure that you have this turned on and that this is actually being used, because what this actually allows Claude to do is use your Chrome in order to do things. For example, let's say we wanted Claude to go to Instagram. Claude can't go to Instagram because it can't actually access it. Instagram will block it. But if you have this turned on, it can then actually use your Chrome to go over into the internet. And this is incredibly powerful. In addition to that, if we come over here and we click on capabilities, you want to make sure that you have this turned on, this turned on. When it says tool access right here, I would have tools already loaded personally. In addition to that, you want to have this turned on, You want to have this turned on. You want to have this turned on, this turned on, this turned on. In terms of coding, you want to have all of these turned on. Domain allow list right here. This is really only going to be important if you're coding and if you're having this access to specific things that have like an admin panel or something like that. So personally, I wouldn't worry about that for 99% of people. Now, next thing I want to show you, because I talk to so many people all day about Claude, about AI, and 99% of people miss this. So if we actually pull up Claude right here, if we come over into Cowork over here, we're going to see a few things that are completely different. Dispatch right here. You want to make sure that you have this turned on. You have this enabled right here. You want to make sure that you have keep awake. You want to make sure that you have mobile notifications, computer settings right here. You want to actually come into these and make sure that this has access to all of this, especially allow browser actions and all of these right here. Because what this is actually going to allow you to do is control your computer and control Claude from your mobile device. And this is one of the most powerful things that you could do, because you could leave your computer on 24/7 and have Claude working for you 24/7 in the background. It could be coding, it could be doing scheduled tasks, it could be automating things. This is probably one of the most powerful features, and I personally think it's the most underutilized feature. In addition to that, if we come over to scheduled right here, this actually allows you to schedule out tasks, and we can see that they have some presets here where this will actually go through and show you exactly how this works. Now, if we come back over here into scheduled, we could see that we could sort this by next run or name. We could keep this awake if we wanted to. We could actually come over here and create something with Claude or set it up manually. For example, if we actually come over into something, let's say that I got this to access vidIQ's MCP right here, we can actually get this to happen all the time. And we could get this to happen whenever we want. So if you actually got something to happen inside of Cowork that you really enjoyed, you could say, hey, can you turn this into a schedule, make this happen every day at this time? And this is incredibly useful. For example, this one right here, vidIQ channel tracker. I actually got this to go through and create this channel tracker right here that actually tracks one of my YouTube channels, which I absolutely love right here. And this is something that you want to make sure that you set up, because you could set up these different dashboards, these different artifacts using all of your different connectors, even using stuff from the internet. And this is going to be incredibly powerful for you to do, because this allows you to view things in a way better way. For example, I do not like at all the way that YouTube Analytics dashboard looks, but I'm actually able to use vidIQ's MCP. And if we come over into chat right here, we could say, what does vidIQ MCP give me access to? And it will actually show you everything it gives you access to in terms of YouTube stuff. And then what this actually allows me to do is build out a custom dashboard that you just saw. So here's a full breakdown of all the different tools that they have. We could see they literally have tons. I think they have something like 25 or 30 different tools. That's exactly what I'm using inside of Cowork, inside of Artifacts, to build out this custom dashboard that helps me understand my channel at a way more granular level. And this helps me do things that I otherwise never would have been able to do. And this is one of those things that you need to make sure you're doing with Claude, because if you pair MCP, especially custom MCP, with these artifacts and building out these automations, you can make your life a million times more efficient, and you don't have to know how to code in order to actually do that. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about Mythos 5, the brand new model that Claude just dropped that's absolutely insane, I would strongly suggest you check out this video right here. It walks you through exactly how it works. I'll see you over there.